Welcome to another edition of the Thomas Take Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Thomas, and what a Sunday it was in Orchard Park, New York. The Buffalo Bills got it done 28-21 in a huge statement win. One of those games that defines your team's character. The Bills didn't just beat any other opponent. As we know, they beat the Chiefs. It was an outplayed game that showed that they can finish against a top-level opponent. Josh Allen in full command, playing with both his arm and his legs a little bit here and there. You could feel like the swagger was brought back to the Buffalo Bills offense. The chemistry was starting to click with weapons like Dalton Kincaid. James Cook had another great game. I'm going to break it down. Of course, joined by another guest from last week. Carson Wright will be back on this episode, and this is airing live on the Buffalo Fanbase Podcast Network. All of my socials, the Thomas Take Sports Podcast, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. So we're going to hit that intro. It's going to be a fun show, and greatly looking forward to this one. So kick back, grab a beer, grab a pop, get your popcorn ready. All righty, here we go. The guest is here. Carson Wright, what's going on, my man?
Oh, just another day. Hump day, baby. Wednesday. Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, 2 days left. 2 days left until Friday. That's what I'm saying. I'm happy to have you back on. Last week's show was awesome. I was like, you know what?
I'm excited.
Let's kick it. Let's kick it with another one. Let's go back to back here, and I got a lot, kind of to get off my chest from recapping the game that was the game that we previewed. Really important to kind of start there. So the last episode we dedicated to previewing the Chiefs-Bills game, which was extremely important. Obviously, it was one of the most pivotal games of this season. I feel like if the Bills didn't come away with it, we'd be having a much more heated conversation.
Yep.
Dare I say it, though, the NFL trade deadline left a little bit more to be desired, right, based on the lack of action. So being that this is a live show, we got, people popping on. I want to urge you guys, anybody that's popping on, please feel free to submit your comments. One thing that I know with StreamYard and being on other shows this past week is that sometimes when people leave comments, they don't always pop up right away. So if you leave a comment and I don't get to it right away, just leave it again or just add more comments. Like more comments is A-okay with me. We'll get to those. I'm going to stay close to my phone here. It's always right next to me in the event that there are more comments. But for the audio audience, I also upload this podcast to all my socials, Apple Podcasts and stuff. If you're tuning in on your drive into work the next day, the following morning, much appreciated on that as well. So we'll get right to it. Let's recap the Buffalo Bills 28-21 win over the Kansas City Chiefs. We talked about this game Sunday, opening monologue of the show. Obviously, I feel like neither one of us really expected. I think we wanted the Bills to win this game, but neither one of us really expected the Bills to win this game the way that they did. First off, give me your take on just your assessment of the Bills game against the Chiefs on Sunday. What did you like and what did you kind of dislike?
I'm going to be honest. There's a lot to like about that game. There's a lot to like. There's a lot to take away. Not much bad in this, and that's good. And that's a good thing. I'm glad. I'm going to be honest. I haven't seen many games where Patrick Mahomes is flustered, but I sensed him being flustered a lot during that game. Joey Bosa was a man on a mission. I'm telling you what, he played outstanding. And man, oh man, the person that makes me the most excited out of anybody on the Bills team right now is Max Harrison. He is looking real good. He looks like the real deal. We've talked about this before, even before the podcast today. We've talked about he looks like he's a real deal, which is really good to see. and also Cole Bishop. Really, the defense in a whole played tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
That's a defense that could win a championship if they continue to play at that high level. Michael Hoyt, that's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I am hoping and praying for a speedy recovery for him, but
Mm-hmm.
that was a tough one to see. But all in all, I mean, played great. Josh Allen had to put on his cape a little, but that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. You know, that was needed. He had help with Dalton Kincaid. Everybody kind of chipped in, but you know, the one thing that I will say again, just where is Keon Coleman? I mean, that guy is
Mm-hmm.
non-existent. And
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll talk about that more during the
Mm-hmm.
podcast here, but my goodness, he
Hey,
leaves
it's
a
good
lot.
to get it off the chest, and
Yeah,
you know,
lot to be desired.
a
Lot to
lot
be
to be,
desired.
and with the good, there was a little bit of bad. Like I definitely would have liked to
Uh,
have seen more of Keon Coleman. We
yep.
didn't see it. We did see more. You took I'll kind of play devil's advocate just in terms of what I liked. You liked a lot of the defense, as did I. Trust me. I think the defense really won the Bills this game. Like if I were to
Yeah.
pick which side of the football, you know, Josh Allen did his thing. Don't get me wrong, but
Mhm.
Joey Bosa was pivotal. Michael Hoyt was huge. Maxwell Hairston was fantastic. I
Real
also
quick
thought
question about Max Harrison. How do you feel about him going stride for stride with
stride for
Xavier Worthy?
stride. You know, I texted you. I said, "Did you just freaking see that?" I texted. We were both kind of taking the words out of each other's mouths with that one, like in a
Yeah.
text. Texted my buddy Eric. He's in our dynasty league. I said, "Holy shit! Did you just see that?" And he thought I was talking about something else, which was the shitty holding call that was on Dawson Knox that
That was
even
terrible.
can happen. But that wasn't actually what I was talking about. I was talking about Maxwell Hairston running with Xavier Worthy, one of the fastest men alive. So that was really fun. That was a really fun moment that could leave people saying, you know what, those first, 6-7 weeks that Hairston was not healthy, man, what a difference he makes to this team. Like as
Mhm.
a guy that's a rookie, like for a rookie, knowing what's expected of him, first round pick player, expected to be okay. We're throwing you right. They were gonna if he didn't get hurt, Carson, in training camp, he would have been lined up on the wide receiver 1 or 2 of whatever team they played.
Yeah.
Week one. My memory, Baltimore. So he's lined up against Zay Flowers or DeAndre Hopkins. Like that
Yep.
that would have definitely happened. But unfortunately, in this game, injuries happen, and the swing side of it is he's healthy, he's active, he's ready to rock now, and he looked really really good. So
Very
I'll
good.
I'll add that to your question, but man, Dalton Kincaid, this was probably the best game he's ever had as a pro. Like this
Mhm.
was dominant. Route running was pristine, crisp. The hands have always been there. I've always believed that he's always been a sure-handed guy. People will talk about last year where he dropped that ball at the end of the game, a little bit behind him to come back for it. Bad knee too that he was playing with
Mhm.
last year. He's as healthy as he's ever been. And I think he's been as productive as he's ever been, coming off of this huge win. So the offense, James Cook was doing his thing. Nick, just knifing, the defense like a hot knife through butter. I thought that it was a total team win. Don't get us wrong here. Don't get it twisted for the folks viewing at home. But it was a win where we saw what we needed to see with a lot of guys that we just haven't seen those things
Mhm.
consistently really all year, but we saw them consistently over 4 quarters,
Mhm.
in this game against one of the best teams in the league, regardless
Yep.
of them falling to 5-4, they really had to step on Patrick Mahomes' throat in order to finish it. Like the Chiefs were never out of this game. Like this
Mhm.
was a really, tightly contested one. It's only, one score, 28-21. So I'm just happy that, we saw some signs of chemistry with Josh Allen and somebody other than Shakir. It was Kincaid. I hope to see it more with Coleman. We'll talk about that a little bit, throughout the show. But hey, they beat the Chiefs. Right now, if the season ended today, the Chiefs wouldn't be in the playoffs, but also the Bills wouldn't be AFC East champions. So there's plenty of work to be done. Like this is not, the Chiefs beating the Chiefs in the regular season. We've been here before. Like there's a lot more work to be done. That's my thoughts on it, and I think you would share the same sentiment that we've beaten them before. There's just more work to be done. And coming off of this game, I've talked to you about it on Sunday. And we kind of talked about if the Bills win this game, we hoped that it wasn't going to deter them from making a pivotal move, at the trade deadline. And I am a little bit perplexed, to say the least, that coming off of this game that there was no trades made. And whether that's offensively or defensively, a trade deadline reaction to a trade deadline where the Buffalo Bills did nothing is pretty tough to give, without being a little bit, frustrated or agitated. There were three guys that we talked about. There was Jakobi Meyers, there was Rashid Shaheed, and there was Jalen Waddle. We also talked about Chris Olave too, but Olave and Waddle weren't traded. Jakobi Meyers was one of the guys that was. He was traded to Jacksonville. Rashid Shaheed was traded to Seattle. And when it comes out what those guys are traded for, a fourth and a fifth and a fourth and a sixth.
Pretty much a slice of bread, yeah. It's tough.
It's really frustrating. Now, the fits to where they went to, Rashid Shaheed and Jakobi Meyers, like, what is your overall assessment of just the lack of them making any trades at the trade deadline? Like, if you could give just your overall take on it, what would you say?
Well, as you know, I've felt long and hard about this because we've talked about this multiple times. It's frustrating. I mean, as a fan, I think everybody as a Bills fan right now is a little bit frustrated. Now I did, as we both know, we both watched the Brandon Beane and everything like that. We'll get to that as well, which is fine. But, here's the thing. When it comes to those fits, Jags, I mean, they do. I mean, they got some injuries. I would have loved to get BT Jr. I mean, I would have loved that. That would have been great. But, when it comes down to it, the fits, I don't really think Seattle really needed Shaheed, in my opinion. I mean, they got Horton. They have, one of the best, if not right now, the best wide receiver in the league in JSN. I mean, he is going off. I mean, do they really need Shaheed? Probably not. It's just like, but then I look at it in a little bit of devil's advocate as well, is like, would those guys have made a huge impact and a huge change in our offense? I don't know. I really don't know. And I think that's my thing is like, even if we did trade for some of those guys, it's not a guy that we need to get, like a difference maker, a guy that we know that we can rely on. I mean, Shaheed has always been a number 2 wide receiver. Jakobi Meyers is a slot guy. I mean, yeah, he can kind of go downfield. He can create that separation, which would have been nice. And I would have took him. But you said it yourself as well on a phone call we took earlier this week, and you were like, would I have been thrilled?
No.
Yeah, I mean, not really. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, for the guys that got traded, I'm not that mad, at the end of the day. But when you got the Jets, throwing their entire organization in the ground and in the wind and being like, hey, everybody, you can just come and get anybody you want. Maybe we could have tried to go get Garrett Wilson. I don't know if he was even available. I'm just saying, I think that it's tough to tell, it's tough to say because our cap space is rough, as we all know. And I think that's a huge reason of what held Beane back with not making anything. But man, when you have spots to fill, my overall thing is when you have spots to fill, like obvious spots that need to be filled, it's tough, to go through a trade deadline and not kind of fill some of those spots. But at the end of the day, you just hope and pray that, that we can get through and make it to a Super Bowl. I mean, that's what we all want. So I don't know. What's your take?
So going kind of piggybacking off of this, I found some very interesting stuff kind of in the last couple minutes as I was actually preparing for this show. So very interestingly enough, they restructured Teron Johnson's contract right before the trade deadline, right before the Chiefs game, actually. They restructured it to open up like 2 more million in salary cap space, so like $1.5 million, something along those lines. Could have been like $1.75 million. And it does matter to have that right. It was somewhere in that range, though. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but I could find it easily. But what that means to me is they were trying to open up salary cap space so that they could go out and get somebody. Now, Jakobi Meyers has a 2025 cap hit of $5.3 million that the Jaguars, have as like his base salary. They've assumed that. Seattle is paying Rashid Shaheed $2.1 million for just this year. He's a free agent next year. And Jakobi Meyers is a free agent next year as well. Big difference that I talked about on Sunday is that Jakobi Meyers is 29 heading into age 30 next year. Rashid Shaheed's 27 heading into his age 28 season. So one's got a 2 next year in front of his age. One's got a 3. Not that big of a deal, right? Jakobi Meyers is still in his prime. But if you were to just say which one would I have wanted out of Jakobi Meyers and Shaheed, I probably would have chose Shaheed because those were really the only 2 guys evidently available. But watching that press conference that Brandon Beane, the Bills general manager, gave today, I put the quote down for you and for the viewing audience at home. He was agitated for a lot of different reasons. He was agitated, I think, because he did try to do things that he wouldn't normally do, like unconventional, go against the grain, try to trade with teams in your division. I have no doubt in my mind that Brandon Beane did sit on the phone with the Miami Dolphins about Jalen Waddle, that Brandon Beane did sit on the phone with the New York Jets about Garrett Wilson, as you mentioned earlier. And he probably also looked at Jakobi Meyers, probably also looked at Rashid Shaheed, probably also looked at Joe Tyron, the guy the defensive end that got traded as well. He was probably in on all those conversations, but the only problem is the guys that they were most interested in were not Jakobi Meyers, were not Rashid Shaheed, and were guys who were in their division. The Jets are trading with Dallas and Indy
and Colts. Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of shows me like GMs, they want to make a move, but they don't want to make a move that makes them look like they don't know what they're doing, right? And if the Jets had made a move, if the Bills had made a move, let's just say, and the Jets, where we gave up a first-round pick for Garrett Wilson, there would be fans like us that would have said, man, they got Ohio State Buckeye Garrett Wilson. He's been a wide receiver 1. He's never played with a quarterback like Josh Allen. Holy shit, they just made a trade. And then there's other fans that would have said, man, they just gave away our first-round pick to a division rival, and now our division rival's got 3 first-round picks. We know that's true. Like whether we would disagree with that, but we know that that's true. So there is a little bit of a damned if you do, damned if you don't, because of what we've seen, even in this Chiefs win, where the tight ends were what kept this offense churning. And really, the tight ends are what has kept this offense rushing attack churning as well. It's not just the passing attack. So the wide receiver position, in terms of like the pecking order, it's quarterback Josh Allen running the show with James Cook, throwing the ball to the tight ends, and the tight ends in terms of Kincaid and Knox, as well as Jackson Hawes. When Jackson Hawes is out there, he's gonna maul whoever it is that he's in front of. He's shown that already. So Brandon Beane's okay with that. It's interesting. Only time will tell. I really wish that they would have been able to get either Meyers or Shaheed, especially when I saw what they went for. Shaheed would have been a better fit cap-wise, age-wise, probably fit-wise as well, based on what they need. They need like that vertical,
speed
threat.
Speedy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was probably the guy out of any of them that were actually available that they probably should have got. And Brandon Beane said this is not fantasy football. We know that. Like, I respect Brandon Beane a lot, but he seems in moments like this and in moments prior to the season starting, he seems like he is really wearing the emotions, which is kind of concerning. Like, he's a professional football general manager. Like, as much as I can critique him and you can critique him and every Bills Mafia fan, Bills Mafia member can critique him, it's his team. Like, he's running the team. He's bringing in the players. Like, I would want him to just say, guys, just I tried. It didn't work. And that's it. I'm comfortable with who we got. And that's kind of what he did say, right? That's kind of what he did say.
He was also like, like, obviously we know it's not fantasy football. And he's like, he also did mention, he's like, I'm willing to trade, picks. It's not like when have we ever? I mean, like, I can't even remember a time. And I'm not saying that we should have traded our first round pick. Like, would I have, like, if you're going to go get a guy like that, then, you go get a guy. I mean, look at Dallas, look at Colts. I mean, they're willing to do it. Why aren't we? And I guess that's the question, is like, why aren't we willing? Because Colts right now, they're like, hey, we have a chance for a Super Bowl right now. We got to go out and get better. We need a cornerback. Let's get one of the best. You know what I mean? And they went out and got it. Now, 2 first rounds is a little bit, I mean, that was a little bit high priced in my opinion for Sauce, in my opinion. But, ultimately.
You know what it says, though, is like, and to kind of just add to this too, like, what it says to me is the Colts were willing to give up 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. That tells me that they are all in on Daniel Jones. Like, Daniel Jones is their guy. Like, they are not dipping their toes in the 2025 draft class or the 2026 or 2027 draft class for a rookie quarterback. They're good with Daniel Jones. And like, the thought of, well, they still got Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson is done in Indy. Like they're done. Like, he's not going to get another shot.
He's not going to get re-signed. He's not going to. He's not going to do anything.
Like,
and that's kind of the thing. It's like, you look at the Colts and they have just blown up. I mean, they are one of the best in the league at this point, and it's obvious as well. And and they're like, okay, we can compete. Obviously, we can win games. Obviously, we're the best in the AFC right now, and and we've been one of the best teams in the AFC for how many years now in a row, and we have not took that step. We have lost to Kansas City. I mean, every time we play Kansas City,
4 to 5 years.
Yeah, every time we play Kansas City in the playoffs, our guys shake. Everybody's like, "Oh gosh, we know this story," and it's like so frustrating as a fan, of an organization like this, where Brandon Beane can say whatever he wants, and like you said, I do respect him. Like, at the end of the day, he's got to do what he's got to do, and it just didn't work out. But then again, year after year after year after year, losing in the AFC Championship or the divisional round of the playoffs to the same team, what are we going to do to get to that next level?
It's very frustrating.
And it's like, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But, then again, cap, and I know that there's a lot of things that go into it, but it's like, man, oh man, it is definitely frustrating. You wish you could just go out and get that game changer that, when it comes down clutch time, that you're going to him, or you can rely on this guy on defense. And it's not like I hope our defense plays good today. It's like, it's tough. That's kind of how I feel in a way.
The really frustrating part for me is, I respect the media a lot. They ask questions that, people want answers for. And to go to kind of the tagline that I got up there now, Brandon Beane's not happy with Keon Coleman. That was another kind of big takeaway that I had from this press conference is that Brandon Beane didn't say word for word that he's not happy with Keon Coleman, but the exact quote was, there are things that Keon Coleman could do better. And who could disagree with that? You know, I've heard things about, you know, Keon Coleman being benched in games at the start of some games for disciplinary reasons. Those are things that fans don't notice. Those are things that fans don't know, you know, and those are things that when you're watching a game, you can't get the Madden view. You know what I mean? When I say that, like when you play Madden, where it's that view where you're looking at Josh Allen 17 from the back of his jersey, we're always looking at the players from the sides of their jerseys, right? And how they, with that side long, you know, long view, wide view. I didn't notice in the Baltimore game that Keon Coleman wasn't playing in the home opener, week 1, for like the first 2 or 3 series of that game. He was benched because of disciplinary reasons, showing up late to practice or whatever it was. I don't know the exact reason, but that came out well after the fact. And it makes me wonder, what is going on with this kid? Like, what is the relationship between the Bills and him? Would they be willing to move him? With some of the trades that happened, it felt like the Jets trade, like I almost wonder if Buffalo were to trade a first-round pick in 2026 to the Jets for Garrett Wilson, and they also traded the Jets Keon Coleman, would the Jets have taken that trade? Probably, right? Just to get that next first, and you're getting a wide receiver back. They'd also would have got Adonai Mitchell from Indy in the Indy trade. They'd have Adonai Mitchell and Keon Coleman, 2 young wideouts that, you know, were talked about as top, you know, 35 picks. They were top 30, 45 picks in that range. Like, this whole youth movement with the Jets of gutting their team, like whatever, like throw it at the wall, see if it sticks. They're on rookie contracts. I think that was a discussion that could have been had. Maybe I'm wrong on that. We'll never know. But Keon Coleman was a big part of that Brandon Beane press conference. And I'd urge anybody that didn't watch it to watch it and let me know if you feel the same way. If you disagree with me, let me know. But I feel like the return on investment has not been there. There's things off the field that are in those walls that we don't know that have led to Sean McDermott being a disciplinarian with him, which he usually is with guys. Like James Cook had a fumbling problem. He benched him against the Rams after he fumbled. Things like that. It's just interesting right now. It's very interesting to see the direction that they're headed. And I think it's safe to say they got 2 free wins on the schedule, you know, with this game coming up against Miami and the next game against the Jets. The Jets are gutted. They're being gutted. There's no hope for their season whatsoever. And they're probably, I mean, the GM makes those trades to get the picks. Is Aaron Glenn going to be their coach to see those picks through? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. So
yeah, it's
very interesting. Very interesting.
I'm actually surprised that he hasn't been fired yet. I'm not gonna lie. Starting 0-7. I mean, normally, you know, that's not a great thing, especially when they had somewhat hope for the season, getting Fields, you know, getting that young, like, oh, he's gonna be fine. Like, we're gonna, you know, this is his fit, and it was not his fit at all. But yeah, I mean, with Brandon Beane, he definitely alluded to him not being happy, for sure, like you said. And when I watch Keon Coleman, like, there are some times where Keon looks good. You know, it depends on what team we play, but every single time he is slow. He's not as aggressive as I would have hoped he is. Like, sometimes he shows it, but it's just he's not anything that gets you that excited. I mean, I try to be excited about Keon Coleman, but he doesn't. Game after game, he doesn't show up. He's nowhere to be found, and I think that's, you know, he's not a difference maker right now. He's just not. You know, and I don't know what. Would I have been mad about trading him to get Garrett Wilson? No, I wouldn't have been mad at all. So
that's another layer to it, right?
Yeah,
that's another layer to it. And Bills Mafia, they would have said, well, we traded a first and a guy that we took in the second, but you got a wide receiver 1 in this hypothetical trade. Like, Bills Mafia wants a young wide receiver one. Josh Allen wants a young wide receiver one. And I don't think he's it right now. That's just judging off of what we've seen thus far. So, last Sunday, 2 catches for 17 yards. Sunday before that, 3 catches for 30 yards. Sunday before that, 2 Sundays before that, I should say, with the bye week against Atlanta, 3 catches for 11 yards. Buffalo versus Patriots, a game they lost 20-23. Another game that they lost 2 in a row. Obviously, the Patriots and the Falcons. 4 catches for 23 yards. 3 catch. I mean, he's only had the most catches he's had in a game are against New England with 4. That's really underwhelming. He has not had more than 50 receiving yards in any game this year. He has 8 catches for 112 yards for the season. Guys get that in a week. Like this is horrible. Like this is
bad.
Pitiful. So Bills fans, I think they embrace the kid. They like the personality. They like the skill set. But it's not working. Like this year, he's far worse than what he was last year, even as a rookie. So something's got to give. Hopefully, we see that.
I think about the shoulda, coulda, woulda, and it's in the past. It doesn't even matter. But to bring it up, I had people, at work and other people, saying to me after that game, "Oh, we had to get Max Harrison because we had to get somebody to guard Xavier Worthy." And might I remind you, we could have both right now. And that's kind of the thing. It irks me a little,
It does.
And it's like, we could have both. We could have that quick threat on defense, and
they would be practicing against each other, iron sharpening iron every single training camp, practice week. That would have been nice, and
it would have been great. And that's, I think that frustrates me a lot when we trade back, and not only trade back, but trade back with Kansas City. It's just when that's probably who they're going to go with, and you trade back and you're like, we don't want him for Keon, who is now underwhelming. Not at the time, maybe we didn't know that. I mean, obviously nobody knew that Keon wasn't going to perform. And like you said, I do like Keon. I like Keon's personality. He's a cool, funny guy, whatever. But that doesn't win championships. That doesn't win games. That doesn't go out there and be a difference. Like, I don't care at the end of the day.
I just want his stats to be good. That's all I care about.
I want Josh Allen to be able to be like, okay, he's my guy. He's my guy. And he's not. He's just not. And would Xavier Worthy be more of that guy at this point? 100% in his career, he definitely is more that guy. So it was just funny when people were saying that this week. I'm like, we could have had both. So it's just tough. It is tough.
You mentioned something too, and just to wrap this up with the Brandon Bean point, we'll go into the preview of the Bills-Dolphins game coming up here, folks. But they have made there are 2 seminal moments in this whole McBean era. 2 significant trades and or signings. One was made during COVID, March of 2020. And one was made in 2022, I believe. And that is when the Bills traded for Stephon Diggs and signed Von Miller. Other than that, the Bills have not made a significant, in my opinion, they have not made a significant roster-altering signing. No. Joey Bosa, love the guy. I've always liked Joey Bosa. Like, I've always been a fan. When they signed Joey Bosa, it didn't have the gravitas that Von Miller did. When they signed Joey Bosa, it didn't have the weight that trading for Stephon Diggs did. When they signed Joey Bosa, it was, as we talked about Sunday, please God, let's hope that McDermott can keep him. Let's hope that McDermott can keep him healthy, or they just wasted $12 million. That's what my thought process was. And it's not because the guy's not good. It's he can't stay healthy. This guy wrote this article about Mike Trout. Mike Trout was one of the best baseball players I've ever seen in his prime. 5-tool guy, could run, could throw, could hit for power, could steal bases, 40-40 guy in his prime easily, 40 bags, 40 homers. And somebody wrote an article saying, what happened to Mike Trout? He's completely disappeared. And I commented on it and I said, well, no, Mike Trout has not disappeared. Mike Trout is 30 plus. He's not 25 anymore. He's not 26 anymore. And that's kind of how I felt about Joey Bosa too. But Sean McDermott is able to kind of keep him healthy with the other guys. The depth of their front four is the biggest depth point of their entire roster. They have far more depth. Could you even dare to compare the depth that they have at the D line compared to their wide receivers? It's night and day. It's not even close. So I throw that out there for fans. I saw a comment here. I'll click it here in just a sec, but that's a guy that, Von Miller was a huge deal. Stephon Diggs was a huge deal, but that one move is really, really lacking in Buffalo, and that's the thing that I think they really need. We'll go to the Buffalo Bills versus Miami Dolphins. We got a game on Sunday at 1. The way football is meant to be watched, in my opinion. I love the prime time, don't get me wrong, but I like Sunday football at 1 o'clock, and I love Sunday football knowing that the Bills are taking on the hapless Miami Dolphins, who are also having a shit year. Mike McDaniel will probably be fired come season's end, come Black Monday. What's your take, preview, predict Bills, Dolphins week 10?
Yeah. Oh, man, let's hop right into it. This is, I hope, going to be a fun one. I hope that we put on a show. We should put on a show. Knowing the Bills, though, it makes me a little nervous because we like to play down to competition, in my opinion. Let's hope we don't do that. We need to come out like we did. Our defense needs to play like we did. Get a couple turnovers. I mean, that Tua loves to turn the ball over. So let's get a couple turnovers. Let's limit Devon Achane. Let's limit him. Let's not let him run all over us. I mean, I think that might be a key point, a key takeaway is just limit him. I mean, he's really the team. And then put Mad Max has to be on Jalen Waddle at all times. I mean, he has to mirror him because besides Jalen Waddle, they have nobody. So I think that's the main thing. And then just let Josh do his thing. I don't think the Dolphins defense is really anything to, be entirely worried about. They suck. So, I mean, at the end of the day, just let Josh do his thing. But at the end, when it comes down to it, put Mad Max on Jalen and limit Achane. But but I think prediction-wise, I think we win by a heavy margin. I think we win. I'm going big. I'm going 40 to, man, what are the Dolphins going to score? They're going to score some points. But I say 40-16. I mean, it's going to be a blowout, in my opinion.
This should be the game where the offense should hum. There's so many injuries on this Dolphins defense. Former Buffalo Bills corner Rasul Douglas, who's actually played really well for Miami. I got his signed mini helmet right behind me here, one of the mini helmets back there. One of the nicest guys I've ever met, and a guy that I actually wish Buffalo would have kept rather than sign Trey White. That's another story for another day. But Rasul Douglas has played really well for the Dolphins. He's probably going to be out. Chop Robinson didn't practice today. He's one of the best linebackers. He'll probably be out. So there's a lot of guys that, will probably not be out there on their defense. And to me, that is a big deal. So this is a game that Buffalo's offense should have a bounce back effort. Defensively, I mean, I don't know how to say this without sounding insulting, but Tua just does nothing for me. There's never been a point where I've thought Tua's really, really solid. Our Dynasty Football League, you inherited a team that you had to take over, and I was like, dude, just take this trade to just get Tua off your team. Just take it. Like just
looking
get him.
back at it, CMC is really good. Now after his double Achilles or whatever the heck happened, but I could have maybe got a little bit more. But yeah, I'm glad to get two on my team. He is terrible. But then again, I got Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud, and they're both hurt right now. And Cam Ward's on a bye, so
Oh God!
I'm not looking too good right now in Dynasty. But
Now
either way,
are
story for another day.
Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud both on IR?
They haven't. So that's the problem I'm having. They haven't put them on IR. Jaden Daniel just says out, and then
Well, you could
CJ
put them
Stroud
on
just says
IR.
out.
You could put them on IR if they have the O. You can.
It's
I'm
not
pretty
letting
sure.
me, but I'll try
Really?
again. But
Okay.
either way, I'm
gonna
gonna
look into
have
that.
to because I have to get two other quarterbacks for this week if I want to compete at all.
I'm gonna have to look
in
into
the
that
game.
because that might be a setting that should be on that's not. So I'll look into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just this should be a blowout. Like this should be like 40 burger or maybe even a 50 burger. Like I'll just say I'll say conservatively if they pull Josh Allen in the third quarter, 38-14. Like really. And for the sake of fantasy football only, Devin Achane 2 touchdowns. Like, can I get that? Like that'd be okay. That'd be a good day.
I do have Devin. I do have him in one league, and I could stand for him to get a touchdown, but nothing crazy.
Crazy. This is a crazy take, especially with how good James Cook has played. But I love Devin Achane. Like Devin Achane is one of those dudes that you watch him play, and you're like, man, that's probably the only Dolphin I've liked since Ricky Williams, which that goes back. Ricky Williams was
fun to watch.
A bit ago.
For sure.
Yeah, he's something.
He's so fast. He's
extremely fast. So we touched on the NFL trade deadline and what the Bills didn't do, which was nothing. We also touched on what the Jets did, which was a lot. I want to bookend the show by just giving a full NFL trade deadline reaction here as far as what we've seen. And I apologize. As I looked at the stream, I'm always keeping track of the stream. My camera was blurry on the live. It looked like I was like a hologram. Did it look like that on your end too?
Yeah, it did. I was going to say something, but I didn't want to cut you off.
Yeah, I don't know why. So I fixed it, but whatever. It might have been I had a lot of tabs open.
Did we have a comment? Did we have a comment?
We did. Let me see if I can get to it.
Before we get into this, because it's like a huge thing. I just didn't want to get that. I didn't want to not get that comment taken care of.
Let me see here.
While you're doing that, I will say this. We talked about it before.
Here it is.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Coming to us from EE, which means Eric Ellis. Will the Bills win the division?
Ooh.
It's a tough one.
I think that we will sneak it out. I have faith. And the only reason I think we're gonna win it, because it's not looking. I mean, Patriots are looking almost unstoppable right now in the kind of getting into mid-season. They're looking very good. It's a little bit scary. Drake May seems to be their franchise guy. I mean, 100%. Franchise guy. But I think we're gonna beat them. Going into Foxborough, I think we're gonna beat them. I think we're gonna get our get back in a way, if you want to say that. And that's gonna be the tiebreaker. I think they're gonna lose a couple games here. And I hope, with us winning these next two, hypothetically, hopefully, against the Jets and the Dolphins, I think that they're going to lose. What does their schedule look like? Can you look that up?
Let's pull it up. I'm pulling it up now.
Yeah. Pull up the Patriots schedule. I want to say they're going to lose one of these games. I looked at it the other day. But I'm
hoping to Jesus that Joe Burrow's back by the time they play Cincinnati, which is in late November. He could be back. He's projected to be back early December. But if Cincinnati is in the playoff hunt, Like if they rattle off some wins here, which with Joe Flacco looking
Flacco
like
could
he's
even maybe beat him.
freaking 25 all of a sudden.
Mhm.
I'm pulling it up here. Yeah, I share your. I think we will win the division. To
Yeah.
answer Eric's question, I think we're going to get to a point where the one game that matters is the game against the Patriots,
I agree.
and we just got to beat them.
We need to beat them.
That's they need to beat the Patriots to make that happen. So
I just don't think we're. I think yes, we're both good teams, but at the end of the day, we're not getting swept. We're just
no,
not. So
no,
at the end of the day, I think we're going to win that game against the Patriots, and I think that they're going to fall a couple here. I mean, they play the Bucks. Yeah, I mean, I think they lose that. I really think that they
I
lose
think
that
they'll
game.
lose to the Bucks, beat the
Um,
Jets.
Probably beat Cincinnati if Joe's not back because their defense sucks.
If the Giants had Scattaboo, I'd take the Giants in this one.
I would almost take
yeah.
this to the Giants, but it's tough. And then we get them there. I mean, if we
Bills and Ravens back to back,
that's a tough one.
And then
Vikings.
That's
I think they're going to fall a couple.
Apart.
I think they
Bills and Ravens.
I think Ravens would definitely beat them.
This is a good question here from Samuel White. He said, if the Bills don't play the Chiefs in AFC title game, who could they play? So this is like a scenario-based question. Like if the Chiefs and Bills aren't in the AFC championship, but the Bills are, who would they play? I'm going Indy, to be honest.
Yeah, I will back you in that. I think everybody's saying, oh, Daniel Jones, oh, he looked scared. He had fear in his eye. He's going to fall apart. I really don't think he is. They're fine. They lost one. It happens. I mean, obviously the Bills lost to the freaking Falcons, and the Falcons aren't great. So, I mean, it happens. Losses happen. I mean, it's the name of the game, but at the end of the day, they have JT, one of the best running backs in the league right now. They have a complete defense. They have a complete offense. At the end of the day, they're gonna be there in the playoffs. I just don't see that they're not gonna be. I think Indy pulls up. If it isn't the Chiefs, if the Chiefs get in, there's a good chance. Another sneaky one, and this is just for fun. I mean, this would be a fun game in the AFC Championship. Broncos. That would be fun. I mean, that would be a fun game. Not for us, maybe, but it would be fun to watch.
Did you just show the audience one of your other rooting interests with the Denver Broncos?
I do. Real quick, I do love myself the Broncos. I know Simmons is now on, but I do have a signed Justin Simmons jersey, which is sick. But either way,
my grandfather on my dad's side was a massive Denver Broncos fan.
I do like Denver a little bit. If it isn't the Bills,
it's Denver.
It is Denver for me, for sure.
Omaha, Peyton Manning, John Elway.
Woohoo! They were fun. I like the Denver back. I like Denver back when Tim Tebow was on there. So I mean, hey, I was always I always rooted, and now my brother lives in Colorado, so I like him. I went to a couple games. Baby. Man, if you haven't been to that stadium, that is one of the best, I think, in my opinion. That stadium's crazy. But
you went there. When did you go there?
I went there when they played. I think it was a preseason game. I think it was in September. I went there, and I mean, even preseason. Year? No, it was a couple years ago now. It was when Vaughn was on their team still.
Oh wow!
So it was a couple years ago now, but
yeah, I mean, they're one of those franchises that I've always liked. Like I'm not necessarily when the Bills were shitty, Denver was pretty good, right? Especially when they got Peyton Manning and everything. Peyton Manning could have played for the Germany friggin' Galaxy. You know what I mean? Yeah. I would have rooted for their team. Yeah. Like I love Peyton Manning. He's one of my favorite, maybe my favorite awesome. All time outside of Allen. But yeah, there's a lot of good teams in the AFC. The AFC stacked, loaded. Denver's a tough matchup for the Bills. Denver, had moments last year against us in the playoff game before things got kind of ugly in the second half where I thought, man, Denver is a Denver's a rising team. Bo
They're
Nix
just
is good. Their
scrappy.
defense is good.
They're scrappy. They never
Sound.
quit.
Yeah.
They never quit. They're scrappy, and they're tough. I mean, their defense is now top in the league. I mean, once PS2 comes back, I mean, they're even going to be because he's hurt right now. I mean, they are complete. They had an off season.
I drafted their defense relatively not early, but I drafted I think their defense I picked was the first defense off of our board in the Yahoo League, and I'm not dropping them when they're on bye.
No.
Like
you can't because it's like here's the thing. They had an off season. Like I was about to say, they had one of the best in my opinion. They got Trey Greenlaw. They got Hufanga, the strong safety. I mean, they got better. I mean, they were already good. They have Bonito, and he's, I think, leading sacks right now, or maybe second in sacks. But either way, incredible. Yeah, they're fun to watch. They don't quit, and I don't even care.
So I
just want them to beat the Chiefs. I just want them to beat the Chiefs.
We'll rattle off. We'll rattle off Indy, Denver. Dare I say Baltimore? Like,
it could be possible. It could be possible. I mean, even I don't really think, but I mean, we're kind of just naming a lot of AFC teams, but I could even see like somehow the Steelers like
the
sneaking
Jets?
in there.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine being a Jets fan?
No, I can't. I watched, I'm on TikTok and I watch a couple of reaction. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It is the shittiest. Like I feel so like a fan of the Jets or the Browns. Like
they're sad. They're just depressed.
My dad said this. He was like, we were talking about the Cleveland Browns. We were out to dinner, and I'm like, man, this was actually right before our dynasty draft, before all the freaking trade, just fucking shenanigans and shit. That day. You remember that day, and the people remember that day too that are watching this because they watched the actual draft show. But when I said to my dad, I'm like, what is the point of the Cleveland Browns? Like, when are they ever going to be good? And my dad's like, they should just get them out of the league. And then I laughed and I realized they did take them out of the league. They moved to Baltimore. They weren't in the league for like 3-4 years, and then they brought them back, and they've been even worse ever. They've been horrible ever since.
Yeah, like, you almost like wonder if they just
bad.
They just
should have just left him alone and not even brought him back.
I mean, like, or you could like create a different name and go to a different city. Like, I don't know. At this point, I don't really have high hopes for the Browns to be ever good. I don't know. They just have terrible. I mean, they drafted 2 quarterbacks. It's like, bro, what? Like, I don't know what they're doing. They can't get anything right. I mean, they have Baker Mayfield, and then Baker is now in Tampa for probably years. I mean, he's so good. And then they have don't even get me started on. I mean, I should have. I'm mad still to this day that I didn't draft Ibuka in fantasy. I'm really mad about that. But either way, but yeah, if getting back to the question, I think the most realistic I think would be the Colts. And then the sneaky pick for me would be Denver, the sneaky pick. But that's my 2 for if it's not the Chiefs, because I think Denver will win the division. I really do. In my opinion, I think they at least beat the Chiefs once when they play. Denver has not played the Chiefs yet. So when they play, they're at least going to beat them once, if not twice. I just think that their defense is going to outplay the Chiefs. So, yeah, that's my opinion.
This one comes from my dad. He was on here. So I'm just it doesn't let me click them. So like for whatever reason this thing is acting weird. So I'm just actually putting them in here as like captions. We talked about this, him and I. Drake May or Jackson Dart is Josh Allen 2.0. So which one out of Drake May or Jackson Dart is more Josh Allen-esque? This is fun. This is a fun one.
I have my answer, but I want you to go first.
So I would have originally said a year ago Drake May, and now I'm going to change my answer to Jackson Dart.
I agree.
I think Jackson Dart is the best quarterback of that class.
It's not even close. I don't think. I really
No.
don't think it's even close.
I thought that, going into this draft, the only thing I didn't like about Jackson Dart was he doesn't protect himself. And even now, like there was the moment where he had that concussion and he came off the field and Brian Dable got like fined for putting him back in the game and all that. But the dude is an animal. Like he is a linebacker playing quarterback, like in his mind. Like he's really good. He's a fun Carson went away there for a sec. He's a fun player, to have as a part of your, franchise stuff, shall I say. So I'm going to go Jackson Dart with this one. Carson might be coming back here. We were just about to wrap up, but there was a lot of talking points in this one. A lot of talking points in this pod that were very, very fun. I got the Bills winning against the Miami Dolphins pretty easily. He's back. There we go.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem. So yeah, I was saying Jackson Dart. Who would you say?
I think it's Jackson Dart. I mean, I could see why people might say Drake May. I kind of think Drake May, he's not as good as Tom Brady. He just has more of that Tom Brady vibe, but can run a little. It's like a little bit more mobile Tom Brady, but not obviously not as good. I mean, Tom Brady's probably the GOAT. At this point, I hate to say it, but he is the GOAT.
Yes,
he's definitely the GOAT. So I mean, at the end of the day, I
don't think there'll ever be anybody better than him. I don't.
No, he's incredible. I mean, but he has that vibe. And when you're talking about Josh Allen, Jackson Dart, he will do whatever it takes to win, and I think Josh is the same way. I know that Josh is the same way. I mean, we all do. We all see it. And when it comes down to it, Jackson Dart is insanely fun to watch. When him and Scadaboo, I am so sad that Scadaboo is out because I actually enjoyed watching New York Giants.
New York Giants, yeah.
How is that even possible? I can't even believe I'm saying that, but I actually enjoyed watching that. I was like, wait, the Giants are playing? I can watch it? Oh my gosh. This is going to be great.
Even when the Giants
is fun, and Jackson Dart just has that swagger. And that's what I like. I really like Jackson Dart. I think he's going to be really good if he doesn't hurt himself. But at the end of the day, he's just got that competitiveness that Josh Allen has. And he could throw, he can run, he can do it. He can do it all, really.
My dad, man, he really, right before the draft, he's like, oh, you got a couple twos. You got Marvin Harrison, you got Trey McBride, I'll throw you Kyler Murray and Mark Andrews, and you throw me the 2 twos, and Kelsey, he takes Dart and Scadaboo with the 2 twos. I would have taken Dart and Scadaboo just as well as he did with those 2 twos. I really wish I wouldn't have made that trade. You know what I mean? I really like those 2 guys, but it's fun for the league to have a little bit of new parity and stuff like that too. But man, Dart's good. He's fun. Drake May's good. He's fun. I just wish we didn't have to play him twice a year after playing Tom Brady for twice a year for 23, 22 years, however long it was. But it is what it is. I think they're headed. I think, based on everything we talked about, I think the Bills will definitely make the playoffs. I'm not worried about that. I just want them to get to the Super Bowl. That's it. I
don't care how it happens.
I don't care what they got to do. Yeah, it's just is what it is. Trying to think of anything that we didn't cover. Anything else that you want to throw out there for the folks at home?
Well, our last question before the comments was overall trade or all overall trade deadline.
I didn't even do that. My bad.
And I just want to kind of circle back.
Yep.
The Cowboys. I just want to talk about the Cowboys real quick. The Cowboys, do I even think they might make the playoffs now, but it's slim. But the
Mhm.
fact that we've kind of talked about it, that like I would definitely respect Jerry Jones for like he's trying,
Mhm.
and it's like the fact that like
I
everybody's
want
like,
Jerry.
oh,
I'll say it. I want Jerry Jones to just. I want Dallas to make the playoffs in a way, just so Jerry Jones can flip the bird to all the freaking haters.
and
Like,
then and
yeah,
then them beat Green Bay now. Like, yeah, that would be crazy. But
yeah,
either way,
it's
you
possible.
know, them getting Quentin and then Jalen Phillips, and it's just like um,
Who else did they get? They got or Logan
J-
Wilson.
Logan Wilson and
Yeah,
Jalen Phillips, right?
Jalen Phillips. He went to the Eagles.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yep,
That's right.
yep.
Yep, yep,
But
yep.
Quentin
Logan
Williams and
Wilson.
Logan Wilson. Logan Wilson's one of the most underrated linebackers in the
He's
league.
good.
Like, he's good. Yeah.
Their defense just got better. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And Quentin Williams, is he as good as Micah? Maybe not, but he's not like that far behind as a defensive tackle. I mean, they're different, they're different positions, so it's different style or whatever you want to call it. But that definitely gets their line better, their defensive line. So it's you know, Jerry Jones, like you said right here, he likes to win a
Wheeling and dealing,
deal.
baby.
He likes to. He's good at it. I will say he is good at it. But at the end of the day, I think they got better. And that's what I think frustrates me, and I've said it before about the Bills. It's like you see all these teams and they get better. They're getting
Hmm.
better, and it's like we're kind of stagnant. We're not getting really much better. And, if we go to the Super Bowl, I think like I don't want to take anything away from the Bills, but I think it's more of like the Chiefs are having a down year, and it's like now's our time to kind of do it. I think.
Yeah, if the
Um,
but people will say like, well, they only made it because the Chiefs had a down year. I say to them, I don't give a shit.
yeah,
Like
and I don't care.
whatever.
I
I
don't
don't
care.
care.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did have a down year, and we kicked their ass in Orchard Park. Like we did what
yeah,
we needed to do. Like that's what I would say, and I would
hmm
say I don't give a shit. Like I don't care how they get there. Just get there.
yeah,
Like I'm at a point where man, it's I and I'll age myself here, but I know what it was like when I would walk through the halls of Emmett Belknap, my middle school, wearing a Trent Edwards or J.P. Lossman or even Lockport High School, those years wearing those jerseys. I know what that was like. Like kids would be like, "Man, you really think that that's going to be the guy?" And it's like, "Well, I hope he is. I'm a Bills
hmm
fan. Like I'm going to support whoever they think is the guy." And there was some promise, and then it was over before it started.
hmm
And then the Sabres back then were the top of the NHL. They were the top team. Like they were a freight train. They were scoring like 7, 8 goals a night. And all the kids in school had Sabres jerseys, like well more than the Bills by like
Man, I wish that was the case again.
80,
Holy.
80 to 20%, like if that. Like there was Sabres stuff everywhere, every store, so my thing with this is it worse? Is the 17-year? I'll leave Bills fans with this. Is it worse for the Bills to not make the playoffs in 17 years, or is it worse for Josh Allen to never play in a Super Bowl? I would say the latter. I would say if Josh Allen never plays in a Super Bowl, it's the greatest failure that this franchise has ever had. Worse
Yeah.
than losing 4 straight Super Bowls, because at least Jim Kelly got to play in 4. Josh Allen hasn't even played in 1. Like you really break that down,
hmm
it's astounding. Like it's just there's people that have like been in this game, whether they played it or studied it, and they say, Josh Allen's the most talented player to ever play the position, like physically gifted athlete to ever play quarterback ever, like in the history of the game. No Super Bowl appearance,
hmm
year 8.
It's like his legacy. He's building a legacy. I mean, he's got an MVP. He's got if you don't get to that level, if you don't get to that Super Bowl, there is no legacy. Like there's
Right.
your legacy is not really a legacy. Like
It's
Patrick Mahomes,
he was a great player, but he never played in the
yeah,
Super Bowl. That's what it
exactly.
is. Yeah.
Tom Brady, I mean, we are talking about the GOAT here, but he has a legacy. Patrick Mahomes, I hate to say it, that dude's building a legacy. I mean,
Yeah.
he's won 3 Super Bowls.
He's been
3.
to 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 Super Bowls, won 3 of them. And Josh Allen, one of, if not, in my opinion, he's the best quarterback in the league, but we are biased.
No, I would
But then
say he
again,
is. I
I
think
think
a
he
lot of
is.
people would agree with
Yeah,
that.
I think
Yeah.
he is. And at the end of the day, if he doesn't make it, like you said, it is a failure to Brandon Beane. It's a failure to Sean McDermott. It's a failure to the people, the coaches, and the people
It's a
in the
failure to
organization.
this fan base
Yeah,
too.
because
Like,
he is the greatest talent. Yes, Jim Kelly was good, obviously. I mean, obviously, but he is the greatest talent that the Bills have ever, like, at the quarterback position. In my opinion. Then again, I didn't really, see Jim Kelly. I'll de-age
you could
myself, but
YouTube him, and you could YouTube him, and I remember when they drafted Josh Allen, like within a year, Jim Kelly was saying this kid's gonna break all my records. Like
Mhm.
my records are gone. And someone was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "The dude they just drafted is gonna break my records." Like
Yeah,
real recognizes real, especially when he played the position at a Hall of Fame level.
yeah,
Like, and he's in the Hall of Fame. He's immortalized in the Hall of Fame forever, because of what he did with the Bills. But yeah, it's just, to me, it's this year they have to get there. Like it's got to happen. It's getting to that point. If it gets to year 10 and Josh Allen's never played in a Super Bowl, then he's in Philip Rivers territory, not
mhm,
not Jim Kelly territory, or Peyton Manning territory, or Tom Brady territory. He's in Philip Rivers land, and nobody wants to be there. Nobody
mm-mm.
wants to be Philip Rivers of their era. Like, Philip Rivers was a good, maybe Hall of Fame caliber guy, like numbers wise, but never won a big game.
Mm-mm.
Never. So it's really sad. It would
Yeah,
be
and
really, really sad.
right now, Josh really hasn't won a big game
No.
because you think about
Yeah.
it, AFC Championship, that's a huge game. Never won one.
0 and
Never
2.
went to the Super Bowl.
0 and
Yeah, so
2 in
it's
the
just like,
AFC Championship.
you
Yep.
know, it's well, the divisional, no. The big game is the championship to get into the Super Bowl, and then obviously the Super Bowl. And we haven't won one of those. And it's like, and I think, and that is exactly where the frustration comes for every Bills fan when we don't make those moves that we anticipate, like, oh, we're hoping to make. I mean, I told you all day yesterday, I'm looking at my phone, waiting for Buffalo Bills to pop up, of them doing anything, and nothing came. Crickets, nothing, zero. So, I mean, that's just the frustrating part. But at the end of the day, we love them, we root for them, and
That's all we
when
can
it
do,
when it
you
comes
know?
down to it, we hope. We hope,
Mhm.
we pray, we just be like, listen, please, please win something. Please win one. Please bring one home. Please go to one. And it would be a storybook ending to the old stadium if we went in there and won a Super Bowl this year. I mean, storybook. So I also am hoping for that too, but
You know what I hope for? This is what I want. This is what I want. I want them to win a Super Bowl this year, obviously, win the AFC Championship game in Highmark, the Ralph Rich Stadium, whatever the hell you want to call it. And then when the new stadium opens, what I want to be able to do is have the Bills as an organization acknowledge the fans that didn't live long enough to
mm,
see the Super Bowl championship by allowing fans to get a brick carved with the name of the person that helped made them a Bills that helped make them a Bills fan. And it would be just this wall of names that didn't get to see it, that people could pay their respects to.
that'd
How
be sweet.
how how freaking amazing would that be?
It'd be
Like,
crazy.
that would be, because you know that like my grandfather never got to see them win a Super Bowl. He was a fan from 1960 till death. Like there's so many people that I know that have died that were diehard Bills fans that didn't even get to see Josh Allen ever play a down. Like, so yeah, there's this has to happen so badly that I feel it every day. Like when I'm in the process of getting ready for the following week's game, like, man, I'm not getting any younger. Like I'm not old by any means, but man, by the time I'm 40 and they don't have a Super Bowl, like what the hell's going on? Like,
if we waste Josh Allen, it is going to be a failure.
dude, the
It's gonna
Saints have won. The Saints have won a Super Bowl. The Eagles have won 2 Super Bowls. The Bucks have won 2 Super Bowls. They're the losingest franchise in NFL history, and they've won 2 Super Bowls. Like when the Jets have won a Super Bowl, it was 50 some years ago, but they won Super Bowl 3. Yeah, the Dolphins have won 2 Super Bowls. Like when, like we need it. It's beyond time, and a lot of it does have to do. Like, don't get me wrong. There's it's very hard to get there and to win one. We know that, but there's decisions that have been left on the table, and I think that that's also prohibited them in this era, these last 7, 8 years, 9 years, from them getting there. And yesterday was another day where moves could have been made and should have been made, and they weren't. So that has to be acknowledged. And Bills fans might not want to hear that. There are some Bills fans that really want respect to be given to Brandon Beane, and they really trust the process. But we're in year 9 of the process. We're in year 8 of Josh Allen as a part of that process. And they show like Sean McDermott's record win-loss wise in this tenure. How many of those games would he have actually won if Josh Allen wasn't his guy?
And here's another thing, like nobody wants to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. And I hope to God that this never happens. But Josh Allen's healthy right now. You know what I mean? He's in his prime.
He's young. Yeah, he's in his prime.
What if something happens? It could go downhill, and we don't want that to happen. Well,
not everybody is. Just say it like this: not everybody is Tom Brady. Not everybody can be plyometric, and basically Tom Brady was so unathletic that he found a way to make himself reliable to withstand taking hits because he knew he couldn't run. So it's like, okay, I got to keep myself flexible, my muscles good, my arm good, and he did that, mastered a way to do that, the TB12 method. Josh Allen ain't doing no TB12 shit. Josh Allen's 6'5", 250. Like there's no, he's running you over or he's throwing it. Like that's who he is. Like, so he's not going to be playing. Like there was a sack that took place against Kansas City where he got like dragged to the ground by somebody. And I thought he might have been able to run past that guy like 3 years ago. Like I'm not saying that he's lost a step at all, but what I'm saying is like the freshness that he was in the league back then, teams study his moves, like the shoulder twitch and the back step and all those moves that he does to try to keep people on their toes when he's scrambling. It's like they're starting to become aware of what it is and why it is what it is and how many more years can he even attempt to do those things. 4, maybe 5, and by then he's 33, 34. And then when does he retire? 36, 37? Josh Allen's not playing till 45, especially with a beautiful movie star wife. He's just not. Like that's not going to happen. And I talked to Eric about this. I'm like, a part of me died inside when I saw him say that his wife let him know that he's more than just a football player, because he is more than just a football player. Like that is the reality of it. Like these guys have such a small window of opportunity to maximize their athletic God-given talent, because that's what it is. Some get it, some don't. It's just God-given, all the abilities that he has. And man, when he says things like, I'm more than just a football player, it's like, yeah, he is. The guy could do anything else in terms of post-career. His name has gained so much fame from his playing career that once his playing career is over, he's going to have opportunities. He's a smart guy. He's an articulate guy. Like, there'll be other things for him beyond this game, which makes it so important that while he's playing it, he's being maximized with talent. And I don't think he is right now. I really don't. I think Kincaid is on the upswing. I think he's going to be one of the best tight ends in the league for the next 5 to 6 years, maybe longer. But
yeah,
the wide receiver position has been alienated these last 2-3 years, and it's embarrassing to me.
I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree. And, we can just hope that the guys that we got step up. Hopefully freaking Keon gets his head out of his ass and steps up. And, we hope.
Right.
And at the end of the day, and, maybe Palmer takes a step. I mean, come on. Some of these guys that we got, in the offseason that we're supposed to be, oh, hey, this might be, a guy. And they are right now. And, it's Kincaid, Shakir, and Cook. That's it. I mean, that's who we got right now. And some of these guys got to step up, and, we hope that we do. But I think this week versus Miami, I think it's going to be an ass kicking. I hope. And let's get back on track, build that momentum into the harder games that we got coming up after these two, easier games versus the Jets and the Dolphins. But ultimately, yeah, we will see. We will see how it all plays out.
We will. Fun fact for you guys to wrap up the show: Josh Palmer, stat-wise, he's had 6 games played, 3 games started, 14 catches for 234 yards.
More than Keon. So
more than Keon in less games. That's my thing. Yeah. So something's got to give. I think that it's going to be a good week this week, God willing. But there was a lot to unpack tonight. The NFL trade deadline, Bills, Chiefs, Brandon Beans standing pat that he tried. He definitely tried. It just wasn't meant to be. So hope you guys enjoyed the show. Carson, thank you once again for joining me here tonight.
Thank you.
Of course. Fun. Yeah. And, we'll definitely get you on again here. And for the folks at home, sorry about the comment issue thing that I had. I saw some come in. I just read some off, top 3 that I saw that I thought were the most interesting. And we were able to kind of debate those and rattle those off. So, of course, go Bills, go Sabres.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Point streak right now. They've got they're 1 point in the standings from last, but they're also 1 point from a playoff spot. Like, there's so many teams that are tied in points that if they start to lose some games, it's going to get bad again. Like, if they go on a losing streak, it's going to get ugly. So
I don't know if they have ever been good in my lifetime. I really don't. I don't know.
I could tell you they have not.
I wish that
well, when you were like a child.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Because I'm 33, you're 23. I'm 33, you're 23, right?
Yeah.
So,
and I'm not a big hockey guy, but I like to watch it, but I can't stand watching them. I haven't watched them this year, but
that's the thing that bugs me is I know you would like it if the Sabres were good, because I did like it when they were good. And then I lost interest once they started to suck, and I didn't watch it, and I kept up with it, but I wasn't watching it every night like I used to. Like, oh my God, when they had Ryan Miller, Danny Briere, Chris Drury, Max Afinogenov, Thomas Vanek, J.P. Dumont, Brian Campbell, I could go on and on. Like they were
Mhm.
loaded, loaded, all capital letters. Like they were nasty too. Like they weren't just skill. Like they were skill. They were nasty. They had great goaltending, and the place was packed every single night. Like it could be like a Monday night or a Tuesday night, and it was
Mhm.
rocking like the Bandits games. And
Yeah.
you've seen my videos of when I go to Bandits games, and I got great seats, and I'm shoulder to shoulder with people, and
Packed.
my feet are literally vibrating when they score. Like
Yeah.
it is.
Which is a lot because they're good.
Yes,
they're,
yeah,
they're the
that's another
best.
thing too.
They're the best Buffalo team we got pretty much right now. I mean, the Bills are great, but God, they can't win anything. At least the Bandits can.
And the Bisons.
Yeah, the Bisons. Jeez, the Bisons.
I love going to Bisons games, but it would be better if they're a major league team.
Hmm.
I mean, if we had a major league team, I don't know if I'd even be wearing the sweatshirt right now. I'm shocked I actually did.
I can't believe you did when we are talking about the Patriots, but hey,
Yeah, I'm not rooting for the Yankees. It is what it is. So, with that being said,
I wish we had
well,
a Buffalo team. That would be awesome. MLB, that'd be sweet.
man, I'd be at that place every
That would
Friday
be
night.
fun. I'm not gonna lie, that'd be fun.
Glizzies and beers just rolling in there.
We got the Muck
Oh.
Dogs.
The Muck Dogs. Hey, I haven't been there in a while. I haven't been to one of those
That's
games
fun,
since I was a
man.
kid.
That's where out near me.
Do they
Muck
have
Dogs.
dollar dog night still? Dollar dog
Oh
nights?
God, I don't know.
Dude, I would rip through some
One of
rip
my
let them
buddies
fire them up.
that I went to school with, Tyrone Woods, he pitched for them.
Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah. And now
Oh.
I think he plays he might be playing D1. He's playing at a college right now too, but he pitches for Muck Dogs. Maybe still too. I don't know.
Tyrone Woods. Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
He was
Sure.
and I'm telling you what, I go back to my senior year of high school and we didn't get our senior year of baseball because of COVID.
Oh, he plays for Bluefield.
Okay.
That's where it says Bluefield
Is it
Athletics.
D2? D?
I think it's D2 or 3, but hey, better than any league I played in. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, hey, he came from Alexander. Yeah. I mean, if you're getting D2, I mean, it's better than nothing. But either way, we were going to win the sectionals. I mean, we were going to be so good. We had him pitching. I was center field. I mean, and I was fast back then. Not as fast anymore.
Dude.
But we were going to be so good.
I started getting my old wrestling stuff like out and because of the coaching and everything. And for the folks at home, we're just spitballing here as
we are so spitballing.
But
spitballing.
So spitballing. But I was getting the old wrestling stuff out, and I was like, holy shit, man, I was somebody. Like I was like, wow, this is
Legend. Everybody at home, Legend has it that he tried to put on his wrestling suit and it didn't fit like it used to.
Legend has it. It ripped. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, Legend has it. I did not keep my wrestling suit because I knew that when I put it away and gave it back to the high school, that I was gonna go to the nearest buffet because I looked like I had all the diseases when I was wrestling. Like I looked horrible. Like my poor mother, like trying to figure out like what I could eat, what I couldn't eat, weighing my food. It was bad, man. I looked like I was like in WW1. Like it was bad, man.
I could never wrestle personally.
It was rough. It was rough. I didn't have pizza for like 4 years when I was in high school.
That's
at
terrible.
All. Yeah, like it was rough.
Basketball, I could eat anything, but I just ran it off the next day.
It was so bad.
Legend has it you wrestled your fiance in the the old
She
the old
actually
suit.
she actually said she was like, you're gonna like actually be wrestling. I was like, I hope not, because I don't know if I can. But no, I could still do a few things, but not
You probably
at the level
hurt
I
him.
could. I'm just gonna just do a little pivot step, hip
Dude, you might
toss.
throw a freaking hip out, dude.
I'm gonna break my back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pumped. But yeah, I'm excited
Yeah,
for
it'd be
this week's
fun.
game. I'm hoping that they can get after Tua, and I'm hoping that it's gonna be a solid Bills win.
Bold predictions, real quick. I
Yes.
think Joey Bosa gets 2 sacks. I think he gets 2 sacks versus Tua. Bold prediction. And I think Max gets another pick. I think he gets
I
another
like
pick.
that. I like that a lot. I'm gonna go offensively. Bold prediction: Dalton Kincaid, 2 touchdowns.
I could see it.
Mhm.
I think I'm not going to touch Gabe Davis because our prediction last week didn't go well, but I think offensively James Cook gets 2 touchdowns at least. I think he gets 2 touchdowns. And I think he runs for about 120, a buck 20. I think he gets
I'm
about a buck
also
20.
gonna say really bold prediction: Mitchell Trubisky with a touchdown pass.
Probably going to happen in the fourth
Because
quarter.
Josh Allen's gonna get yanked.
Yeah.
There's no Josh Allen might play a half of this game.
Yeah, he might. He might. There is a good chance. But I think our that's the bold predictions. We'll see if it works out. We'll see if it comes true. But that's the bold predictions for this week.
I love it. All right, man. Well, it was great having you on.
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna reach out to you here. I'm gonna get some ducks in a row, and we'll see you again soon.
Perfect. Well, have a good night, everybody, and thanks. Appreciate
And go Bills.
Go Bills!
Yeah. Go Bills. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Take care.